Merope was a beautiful woman who was one of the 7 Pleiades in Greek mythology. She was born to Atlas and Pleione, and her mother was known for protecting sailors as she was the daughter of Oceanus and Tethys. Merope and her sisters were known for their beauty, and many suitors sought their hand in marriage. There are different tales regarding how Merope and her sisters were transformed into the star cluster known as the Pleiades. Some say that they were transformed by Zeus to escape Orion's advances, while others believe that they were turned into stars after mourning the death of their brother Hyas. Despite her beauty and heritage, Merope was known as the lost Pleiad because she was dimmer in the sky compared to her sisters. However, there were tales of her husband Sisyphus being punished for revealing her secrets to mortal men, and this could be the reason why Merope's star was fainter compared to the others. Despite being the lesser-known Pleiad, Merope remains an important figure in Greek mythology because of her role in the mythology of the constellations. Her story is a reminder of the power and beauty of the stars and how they continue to enchant and captivate us to this day. Once upon a time, there were 7 nymphs who were called the Pleiades. They were known to be the companions of Artemis, who was the twin sister of Apollo and daughter of Leto and Zeus. Artemis was the protector of hunters and wild animals, and thus the Pleiades carried out the duty of caring for Bacchus, the infant of the forest. The Pleiades were virgin nymphs, and as such, they took great caution with their virtue. However, Orion, the great hunter, fell in love with them and pursued them relentlessly. The 7 sisters named Maia, Electra, Teogide, Selene, Alcyone, Sterope, and Merope tried to evade him at every turn, but Orion was too determined to give up. Concerned for their safety, Artemis appealed to her father Zeus to protect them, and he did so by turning the sisters into stars. As a result, Orion was also transformed into a constellation to keep chasing them. According to some legends, he pursued the Pleiades for 12 long years before Zeus intervened. Eventually, the Pleiades and their half-sisters, the Hyades, became a part of the Taurus constellation. Today, the story of the Pleiades is still passed down through generations. People look up at the stars and see a story of love, protection, and divine intervention. The Pleiades might not be on Earth, but their legacy lives on forever in the cosmic heavens above. Merope was a beautiful woman and she was one of the 7 Pleiades. She had 6 sisters who were all known for their relations with gods and the sons they bore. However, Merope was different. She was often referred to as the lost Pleiad because she was the faintest of the stars and stood apart from her sisters. The reason behind this was that she chose to marry a mortal man, Sisyphus, and lived with him on the island of Chios. Merope and Sisyphus were deeply in love and they had 4 sons, Ornicion, Glaucos, Thersander, and Almus. However, Merope was ashamed of her relationship with a mortal man. She felt that she had forsaken her divine heritage by marrying Sisyphus, and she hid her face out of embarrassment. As a result, she was overlooked by astronomers and her star was not charted like her sisters. Despite this, Merope remains an important part of the Pleiad constellation, and her story serves as an important lesson in love and sacrifice. She chose love over her divine status and lived her life with Sisyphus, even though it meant being overlooked and forgotten by others. In the end, Merope's love for Sisyphus prevailed, and she was remembered for it. Her story shows that sometimes, love and sacrifice go hand in hand, and that it's important to follow your heart even if it means going against convention. The Pleiades were a popular subject in both mythology and art. One of the most well-known myths tells the story of the 7 sisters who were transformed into stars. The story begins with their father, Atlas, being turned into a mountain by Zeus. To comfort Atlas's daughters, Zeus transformed them into a group of stars known as the Pleiades. Randolph Rogers, an American sculptor, was inspired by this myth to create a beautiful marble sculpture known as the Lost Pleiad. This sculpture depicts one of the sisters rising from a cloud in search of her lost siblings. The detail in the sculpture is impressive, and visitors can see it on display at the Art Institute of Chicago. Another famous depiction of the Pleiades myth is William Adolphe Bouguereau's La Toile Perdue. This artwork portrays the separated Merope from behind while her sister Pleiades are faintly visible in the background. The painting's title is often translated as The Lost Pleiad. Both of these works of art capture the beauty and mystery of the myth of the Pleiades.
Do you want to explore more Greek mythology stories? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.